One of the most popular techniques in recent years is intermittent fasting. You choose at what time to refuse food, and at what hours to eat as usual. The most popular option is 16 to 8. That is, you fast for 16 hours, and you can safely eat for 8 hours. The main advantages of the technique are rapid weight loss and cleansing of toxins. However, there are a number of limitations here. Intermittent fasting is prohibited for children, pregnant women, people with anorexia, diabetes, gout, liver, kidney and heart diseases. What is it really? The fractional meal plan is an alternative to the classic breakfast-lunch-dinner triplet, suggesting an increase in the frequency of meals against the background of a decrease in portion sizes. This system involves the rejection of snacks between main meals, that is, the exclusion from the diet of all kinds of coffee breaks, sweets, tea sandwiches and other sources of extra pounds. Instead of the classic triple and an infinite number of snacks, the adherent of the fractional scheme is offered. Eating strictly by the clock, every day at the same time, with a frequency of 5 to 6 times a day. Small volumes, ideally, a handful portion. A minimum of salt and sugar. Food should please with a natural taste, and not excite excessive appetite due to additives. The exclusion of all spicy, fatty, fried, only healthy foods are included in the menu. The balance of the components of the serving, proteins, fats and carbohydrates should correspond to each other in volume or weight. Such a diet leads to the normalization of the volume of the stomach. Benefits of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting and 2 meals a day offer certain benefits when done correctly. There is now more and more research being done on whether 2 meals a day can be used as a therapeutic tool to address systemic problems and treat certain health conditions. Autophagy, or the death of damaged cells, is one of the benefits of intermittent fasting. The body has an innate intelligence to eat the weak and old cells first when it has no food. This means that you can initiate autophagy as a programmed death of damaged and worn-out cells, which helps to optimize cellular activity. In the process of autophagy, it is also possible to replace cells labeled by the immune system. As your body begins to engulf old cells and mimic autophagy, over time it also replaces autoimmune cells, making it a great way to fight autoimmune conditions. Over time, the number of stem cells increases. With a relatively long fast, the body begins to produce new stem cells, and therefore, this allows you to increase cellular activity, fight aging and improve energy in general. Ketones are produced. These compounds are produced in the liver during fasting or low-carbohydrate diets, and the body begins to use ketones as a fuel source instead of glucose. The brain loves ketones. Disadvantages of 2 meals a day. A long period of fasting does not give you the right to overeat. Excess food after fasting harms metabolic processes. You need to combine intermittent fasting with a healthy diet low in sugar and starch and high in fiber, fat, protein and vegetables. Intermittent fasting can increase cortisol levels in the body if you have adrenal dysfunction. If you are struggling with stress and sleep problems, you should not starve. Blood sugar imbalance. Intermittent hyperglycemia may worsen. If you have a blood sugar imbalance or insulin resistance, intermittent fasting can be very challenging. In order not to worsen the condition, you will need to eat more quality proteins and healthy fats. Prolonged fasting provokes symptoms of blood sugar imbalance, such as frequent hunger or headaches when eating late. Since women's hormones are very sensitive to stress, intermittent fasting is frowned upon by gynecologists, except during certain phases of the menstrual cycle, such as the first days after menstruation. If you have cycle problems, intermittent fasting is not for you. If you liked the video, like and subscribe to the channel for more useful things about health and diet.